In fact, I just broke a fast 2 weeks ago, a 7-day fast 2 weeks ago. The next one I'm going to do is going to be knowledge coaching. I'm going to do a knowledge coaching fast on my vacation. I got a vacation from transit coming up. By the way, I don't know if y'all know, I'm a New York City train operator. I work the C train, you know, the C and the J train. And that's another thing I'm trying to explain to a lot of the young folks. I see them, I say, God, listen, just because you got the felonies don't necessarily spell a death sentence. Because there's a law called Executive Law Article 23A that says that as long as your crime does not deal with the occupation that you're trying to get, you can get that job. You cannot discriminate against them. Now, obviously, if I'm a bank robber, you can't go in and talk about y'all want to work in a bank. So as long as your crime don't have anything to do with that, they cannot discriminate against you. Now, a lot of companies don't seem to know that. You know, because I walked into this place called Praxis House. They told me straight up that we don't hire murderers and rapists. I just got home. I'm like, wow, you don't? I said, oh, excuse me, sir, could you put that in writing? The fool put it in writing. I sued his ass. They settled that shit like in 2 weeks. I said, okay, I'm settled. Papers all up in there. He was like, they was begging to settle. And I didn't really, you know, I should have held out long. I probably could have got 40, 50 out of them. I just took a little, I took what, 7 grand, no 8 grand. I said, just give me 8 grand. I got that little 8 grand. That helped me a lot. Just well, this little library shit coming in handy, man. Then, another thing I didn't tell y'all this, I went on Lil Wayne's tour within 6 months of being home. I went on his world tour. Did you know that? I don't know if sis know that. I went on Lil Wayne's world tour when I walked out of prison. My man, Lil Man Eon, was Lil Wayne's road manager. And based on the little love that I was showing him when I was a DJ, he never forgot. He contributed me to being Lil Wayne's road manager. Yo, you helped me when you was a DJ. But that's what I always did, Carl. I was always a helper. That's who I am. I'm a natural born helper. That's it. That's who I am. And what happened is this. I told my parole officer, I ain't been out for like my first parole board meeting with him. I said, yeah, I got a job. I'm working with Lil Wayne. Want to hire me? We'll do a tour. We'll be a supervisor. He looked at me. You know what he said? His eyes like this. He said, ain't no way in the hell you going on no tour with no famous rapper you just got out of prison for a murder. That ain't happening. I said, well, I can tell you this much. You won't see a whole lot of me if I don't go on this tour. I promise you that. I went home, started working on my temporary restraining order, my injunction. And had that shit in court the next day. I was up all night. My sister's house like that. Going in. I had got my thing. I went right up in there, hit the judge with it, got a hearing within about a week. I reached out to about several different newspapers. That's what saved me. I reached out to multiple newspapers. I had the Daily News in the back of that courtroom. I had Newsday in the back of that courtroom, and it was one other newspaper. And it was the reporters. I calling them, I got them all on board. I said, yeah, but I just need somebody in the court. They was back there, they was going to do a big article on this. Lil Wayne was the hottest thing in this country at that time. So the spin was going to be that, you know, a person who's potentially innocent of my case. Because remember, the governor had given me a clemency hearing on that issue of innocence. So there was a question that this man is innocent. You want to deny him a job? That's what saved me, that clemency hearing, the fact that there was evidence on the record that I'm innocent. A governor acknowledged that there's a problem with this case. So, put a long story short, the Attorney General was in there. Your Honor, it's just too much travel. Even though there's maybe question in this, but he's still convicted. He's still, you know how they do that thing. You know, there's still this possibility, you know, all that bullshit. The judge kept asking her one thing. Well, explain to me, what do you define as too much travel? You just saying too much travel. Explain. They couldn't explain it. She kept saying, well, he's going all over the country. He's going to be going to overseas. He's going to be going to Europe, and he's going to be all these states. And he kept saying, yeah, well, you said that the way I put it in my moving papers is that I can call every day if you want. I can call every week if you want. You can check on me every day. I will find a day because I had that. When you draw up lawsuits and proceedings, you have to come up with elements that show them this is safe, that this is going to work. And the reason it's going to work because this is my plan. If If they want to put up another plan, I can meet those, recommendations or specifications. And the judge said, well, I don't know what more to say. If you saying that couldn't work, but I don't see a problem in it. She just bowed and said, fuck it, let him go. I was like, whoa. When I walked into that parole office and they called my parole officer, that whole place was like, they were shocked. They said, how did this dude do this? And once again, applying the mathematics, having the discipline, putting the work in. And most important of all, I'm going to say this again, having a good heart, God, because the energy that you throw out to the universe is the energy you get back.
That's right.
And it comes back tenfold. If you're a grimy person not helping, not doing, that's more than likely you may get some, but you get more when your intentions is about trying to help others and move and power and do this, do that, and really mean it. It comes back. Because who would have thought, man, me sitting up and joining, the next thing you know, I'm at the Eiffel Tower like this. Peace, God, I'm over here in Amsterdam, I'm over here in Germany, I'm over here in France, I'm over here and another thing, I never knew in Norway. Did you know in Norway they got a crazy Rastafarian population? Wow. I was shocked. Like, damn, they bigger than Brooklyn. A whole community of just Rastafarians, and they got that whole thing locked down. I was like, going to places shocked. And I used to just get up in the morning sometimes, God, and just walk. Get lost. Just get into these countries and just walk all over the place. And, everybody says, Fine, gee, why you always walking? I said, bro, when you get 25 years, you want to walk. You want to see some things. I just walk and just get lost. Put my backpack on like this. All over the place, God. Just walk for miles and miles. One time I really got lost. I was in Dublin, Ireland, got lost. I was about to get a cab. I said, man, I'm seriously fucking lost. I'm lost. I could not find, I just was turning, just walking, and got lost. And I said, let me see if I can backtrack my whole stretch. And I was lost. I went back the wrong way, and I don't know how I got back. I started asking little questions. Man, where is this street? They said, oh, sir, you where? You have to go down here about maybe 3 miles this way, and you got to turn. I was like, wow. And I followed the instructions. I didn't want to give in because I was challenging myself. God, remember, to make yourself stronger, you have to challenge yourself. You got to put yourself through certain conflict or certain journeys or certain tests and stay the course. That's what fasting is about. It's like challenging your body, and through those challenges and through that, that stay in the course, you get benefits out of that. You're making yourself stronger, you're making yourself wiser, and you promoting one of the most greatest instruments that we can have that's going to promote success is discipline. You got discipline, ain't nothing that can really stop you. Discipline, perseverance, determination, and you'd be amazed some of the things we can do. Most great people, if you really sit down and you build with them and you go in depth with them, you will see that most of them are real disciplinarianisms with themselves. That they put themselves through certain things and they stay the course. And unfortunately, that's a uniqueness because a lot of people, once they see a little difficulty, they throw the towel in quick. Oh, I can't deal with it. This is too much. This is, and that right there is not going to get you to the place that you need to do the things that you need to be successful. But with that, I can build more, but I don't want to sit here and eat up everything, so I'm going to get ready to say.
Wait, before you go, God. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah.
Anybody got any questions for the God? Go ahead.
I was reading your story, and it said that your experience with the rehabilitation through the arts, like gave you an epiphany, a revelation, a spiritual epiphany. What did you actually mean by that?
Well, that right there, that was first of all, be advised that I got a master's degree in professional studies and theology. And actually, if you read my book, Baby Dog, I took one of them little Christian verses and toyed with it, played with it, whatever. One thing I would say about God is we take the things that we get and we use it in such a way that we can inspire other people. When I was trying to say that, God, because it seems like it was heavily on a Christian-based type of concept, but the whole concept was about inspiring people. That you can come in contact with any kind of situation and you can be inspired. whether it's Buddhism, Christianity, whatever, the whole thing about that, God, is inspiring you to get on a course of action where you're helping other people. I think the ultimate goal in any mission in life, we have to be public servants. So, you know, and another thing that the article didn't really mention, because I kind of felt that, you know, I said, God, read this article, they may interpret this a little differently.
Not all.
You know, I said, they may interpret it. But God, I honestly believe that the will of the universe is universal energy that we throw out into the universe. It's an energy that we all have vibrations, God. We all transmit energy. Energy is a reality of life. You know, and ain't nothing mystical about that. We all got energy. And energy can never be destroyed. It can only what? Be transformed. It can be changed to different forms, so it exists. And when they did that article on me, one of the things that they came to me about is because they were shocked by the fact that I had a master's degree in theology. They also were shocked by the fact that you wrote a book that was based on it was like a dissertation, a book. It was shocked like, oh, sweat. I just took anything that they gave me, God, and transformed it in a way to try to empower people. You get a chance to read Baby Dog. It's just a story about a young girl, right? Actually, she's from Tilden, right here across the street. Baby Dog is from Tilden, right here. And she just goes on this journey chasing money, chasing, you know, wealth, chasing this, just materialistic. She's all materialistic all over the place. And throughout her journey, she comes across this guy who did time in jail. His name Big Daddy Blue, big time gangster, got out, did the right thing, transformed his life. So I like to write about things that show that people can change. People can change. We gotta believe that. We gotta know that. People can change. A lot of people got this warped belief that people can't change, and that's not true. And RTA is a representation of that fact. So when I wrote that, God, the mission was about showing and proving to people that people can change. That was the essence of it all. I know it seemed like it had a lot of Christian overtones, but the mission was about empowering people. That's it, you know. I'm God, always has been, always will be, and I don't put no cut on who I am. The black man is God. That's it. I don't put no cut on it. And a lot of times white folks didn't understand us, but we presented to them, we were polite about it. Black man is God. I mean, you know, that's what we adhere to, and that's the way that is. No disrespect, but that's what we know and understand. And we got a lot of historical facts, mathematical facts, scientific facts to prove that. Go back in history. Even white folks admitted that everybody came from somebody black. They don't put no cut on that. They can't hide that no more. They've been trying to hide it, twist it, turn it. The evolutionary scientific fact shows that the first person was a black woman who went the furthest, and they say everybody came from Lucy. I mean, that's one of the theories, but we know that there's other aspects of that, because Lucy wasn't by herself. How did Lucy get here? Lucy had to come from somebody.
Lucy came from somewhere.
She came from somebody. It was two other people that created Lucy. So we're going to go back even further than that. So that's just to show and prove that when we say black people are the first people on this planet Earth, we are the fathers, we are the original people, the fathers of civilizations, the mother of civilization, all of civilizations. This is us. So that's that. Any other questions?
Yeah, so you talked about fasting and the different types. I've heard about like intermittent fasting. You just talk like for instance last night I haven't eaten since like midnight or whatever, and now we passed the afternoon, so that would be like over 12 hours. So is that a form of like intermittent fasting? Can you talk about the benefits of that?
Definitely intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is exactly what you do. You have different forms of intermittent fasting. You got the 12, 6, you got the 8, 4, or whatever. What you do, God, is you don't eat for a certain portion of the day, and it has to be for that certain portion when you miss certain meals. Just look at it as you miss 2 meals. University, I just eat 1 meal a day. So even after I break my extended fast, because when I do 7 days, that's considered an extended fast. And when I eat 1 meal a day, I eat 1 meal a day. And bear in mind, Elijah always said that 1 meal a day keep you here for 100 years. He ain't lying.
That's right.
He ain't lying. I mean, you can say what you want about Elijah, but he ain't lying when he's telling you that, because that means every day of your life that you give your body the physiological break, and you're allowing that autophagy and all that other stuff to clean up all of that damage. You never let your body get into any damaged aspects.
How many days do you fast at a time?
Me, my normal fast is guard days. I do guard days.
Wow.
I do guard days, just water.
Okay. A question. So if someone here that never did fasting before, what type of fasting would you suggest and how many days? For how long?
I would suggest that if your body's not conditioned to fasting, what I would suggest, first things first, start off like what he's doing, intermittent fasting. Do a little, miss one day, one meal, just miss one meal. Just like you ate that one night, you go, you sleep, you get up, you miss breakfast. Hold off until maybe a little after 1 and then eat. You do those like maybe 2-3 times a week until your body adjusts to it, because I'm gonna tell you something, when I started fasting, I just went in crazy. Let me tell you about this one. This was a nightmare situation. I was in Green Haven. As everybody know, I'm a hell raiser. I stay lighting up the police, stay suing them. I stayed in their ass every day because I was pissed off at everybody. I didn't want to be there. So I was following suits and and every time they try to get at me, I would get my family involved. They call Albany, because I know these crackers will kill you up in there. They kill you. So what I was doing, I knew how to put protection on my son. I know this is a slight diversion, but I think you need to hear what caused me to start fasting. So my moms would call Albany and letting them know if my son disappears, because they were losing people in prison. They're losing. You know what that losing means? Put your ass on the bus and they say they send you here, you don't get there. You just disappear. It's crazy up in these places. It's crazy up in these places. So what I was doing, I had my family put protection on me, calling, and so they already knew if something happened, he got people watching. Because that's how they was getting over a lot of stuff. Family and have families watching. You've been there, God, and they could pull that off. So long story short, they couldn't get me through that, so they left me alone. I went to the hospital one time for something. I had something. They gave me some pills, God, that damn near killed me. Damn near killed me, man. I broke out.